Right now, I want to bring on Dr. Nathaniel Cogley, political science expert from Tarleton State University. Doctor, what do you make of Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, freshman lawmaker, switching parties to become a Republican?
Well, he's messing up all the numbers I've memorized. I memorized there's 235 Democrats. Now I got to say 234, and that there's 31 Democrats from Trump districts going to come down to 30. The other Democrat that voted against Resolution 660 and the rules makes a lot more strategic sense. Peterson is from a Trump district that was a 31-point spread, so that's a very Trump district. And also in Minnesota, where Peterson's from, it's an open primary, so he can still get through his primary by appealing to independents and some Republicans. The Drew situation is interesting because I don't know that going against impeachment was the easiest route for him. It's only a 5-point district, and New Jersey has closed primaries. So now he's in this very difficult situation where he did a vote that would actually make him better off in the general, but the Democratic Party is now looking to remove him or run from the left, and he had some poll numbers indicating he was in trouble. And I just think it shows the Democratic Party is really passionate on this topic. I mean, 84% want to impeach, and they're not strategic at all. I mean, it's good for them that Van Drew voted against impeachment. That would have increased his reelection chances. They should want to keep this House. They should want to help these 31 members. But instead, there's like, you voted, we're going to get you out of there. And I'm not so sure Van Drew has a great plan here. He's not a lock for the Republican nominee either. There's been people planning to run for that seat for a while. He might be better off running as an independent, but he knows better than me. He's the one sitting in the House.
Should he wait to flip in order to vote on impeachment so the president, the Republican Party, can say, look, we had bipartisan support against impeachment?
Well, I guess, the vote is coming very soon. So that would, of course, be a symbolic thing, and he may or may not do that. He won't be the only one. We have the 2 on record, but there's going to be some more. I was looking at these 31 districts, just try to get some numbers on some ideas. 8 of these are from districts Trump won by double digits.
Right.
12 out of 31 are open primaries, so they could actually have a little more leeway if they went against the party on that one. And then 11 out of these 31 didn't vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker of the House, so they have a record of going against Pelosi's agenda. So 11, 8, 12, this is kind of maybe an idea, but still, they only need 13 of these 31 to vote yes to get it through.
Talking right now to Dr. Nathaniel Cogley, political science expert from Tarleton State University. When it's got to take some really, really big kalakis to switch parties at this time. I mean, this guy's got to be wheeling around his ball bearings in a wheelbarrow right now, because not only do you have to go in and face the party on a daily basis that you are basically shunning, but also, too, talk a little bit about, you're talking about a staff, you're talking about everybody that you've surrounded yourself in being a Democrat and running as a Democrat and being elected as a Democrat. That would be, and all of a sudden you flip. That'd be a very uncomfortable situation to be in.
Well, he has an independent streak his whole career. He mentions that he doesn't like to be controlled by the parties. It's worked out well for him. He was able to win a Trump district as a Democrat. But, yeah, he's just in a really tough reelection chances. I think he maybe is confident in his vote that he had some conviction, and sometimes political science, we're cynical, it's all about reelection. I was saying the Peterson move makes sense. This one doesn't, but he may have conviction for it. But the strategy about how to stay a member of the House, because of course he would like to do that, it's tough. To win that Democratic primary is going to be tough. To win a Republican primary is tough. I don't know what the path forward is for him, and it just highlights how this is a bit reckless for the party to be doing this. And what's interesting, in the resolution on impeachment, they had this narrative of we can't go to the courts to address executive privilege. We have to go now. Trump is a national security threat. He has to be removed. He has to be barred from office now. That's why we have to go. And of course, that's very disingenuous, because no one thinks Trump's going to be removed from office. The timing of this is based on Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats from very Democratic districts are about to go through their own primary in districts where 84% of Democrats want to do it. California's got that top two system. So if Pelosi can consolidate Democratic support now, she'll face a Republican in November. But if she doesn't consolidate support, she's going to face a Democratic Socialist Bernie person in November. And she's never had to face that. It happens in California, 2 Democrats in November. She's never had to do it. So this makes sense for Pelosi's reelection. And the chairs of the committee, you're talking about New York, L.A., Massachusetts. This is not good for people like Van Drew. And I just think the Democrats will end up with less seats than they would have otherwise, but Pelosi might still be Speaker.
Doctor, isn't it kind of crazy if you go back in time, 2015, you had a crowded Republican field. You had Trump that everybody thought kind of was a joke, even running for president. The Republican Party seemed like a rudderless ship, and the Democrats seemed to have a grasp on everything. Trump surprises everybody, wins the election. Now the Republican Party seems to have a grip on everything, and the Democratic Party just seems to be rudderless. It's amazing how quickly things change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say the Republican Party is in the better position now. I would put Trump at a 2-1 favorite. He might be approaching a 3-1 favorite. I think the Republicans are likely to keep the Senate. But they lost the House. It's very rare for a president to gain a House. You have to go back to 1948 and Truman. So it would really be historic. Now, Pelosi's making that possible, if not probable, by putting these 31 members in this very difficult vote. But yeah, the Republican Party is in the better position right now, but things always swing back and forth.
Right.
Americans seem to go for divided government. And so, yeah, people laugh Trump off, but there he is. And I would say it's a relatively successful presidency if you look at it, just in terms of the economy, and you look at the foreign policy and the deal making that he's been able to do. His style doesn't fit everyone, but he's got a pretty good case for reelection. And the Democrats, the people who are good matchups, don't seem to be getting traction over there.
All right, Doctor. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Balloon Daddy. Appreciate it.
Dr. Nathaniel Cogley, political science expert from Tarleton State University.